Tuesdays with Morrie, written by Mitch Albom. Here's a book that I have had on my bookshelf for quite a while now. Um, I can't exactly recall how it is that I got this book. Um, just like one of those books that seems to come with your bookshelf, and one day you just pick it up, open it to see what it's about. And yesterday happened to be that day, and at a first glance, there's nothing fancy to it at all. Um, because usually novels have try to have like an edge to them, sort of like an eye catcher, to appeal to young readers, especially. But with this particular novel, you get exactly uh, what you see, which is um, like it's not a thriller, it's not romantic, it's not a comedy, it's not a historical, it's not even a tragedy. Um, but I promise you, like if you're willing to give it a chance, you're going to realize that this little book is packed with so much wisdom and so much insight that just brings true meaning um, to the idiom of not judging a book by its cover, and it touches the concept of um, something a very basic and core human fear, something everybody, young, old, male, female, black, white, Asian, something we're also uh, deeply scared and afraid, terrified of, which is death. Um, and a lot of people find this very uncomfortable to talk about, even though it's the only thing that's guaranteed to happen in this life. And we spend our little lives, um, from the very day we're born to the very day we die, chasing these little things that we know isn't going to avert this only certainty. And this book touches that very subject and concept in such a dark and beautiful way, um, and just makes you think that maybe death actually isn't the most scariest thing after all, and rather the scariest thing is actually the fear of death itself. And personally, especially during my late teenage years, I struggled a lot with existentialism, um, because you know. But now in my adult years, I sort of resorted to the to sort of like a nihilistic idea, that life doesn't really have to have an intrinsic meaning to it. This meaning that we so desperately seek, that we so due diligently look for, like it's some sort of pattern, in the constellation of the stars or like in the quantum world, and we just simply fail um, to realize that the very meaning of life is to live. And a lot of us just cannot live with the fact, just knowing that all these things that we work so hard for, that we struggle to build, that we cried for, that we hurt for, that we kill for, um, won't mean a single damn thing when we're 6 feet under, you know. And we even went as far as creating this comforting, term that we say to people who's passed, rest in peace. And I know this is gonna sound crazy to a lot of people, but I don't want to rest in peace. I want to live in peace. And this book advocates for just that. You don't have to understand it all. You don't have to have it all together. You don't even have you don't even have to be liked by everybody. think it says right here, and I quote, um, Mitch, if you are trying to show off for people at the top, forget it. They will only look down on you anyhow. And if you are trying to show off for people at the bottom, forget it. They will only envy you. Status will get you nowhere. Only an open heart will allow you to flow equally between everyone. And it also, there's an also there's also another quote that reads, "Love is the only rational act." And this isn't just coming from anybody. It's coming from the mouth of an old, dying college professor called Morrie, and he's suffering and has been diagnosed with ALS, which is a paralyzing disease that just ravages and attacks your nervous system, um, your immune system, and just sort of attacks your muscles, and gradually breaks them down and just renders them completely unusable, and immobile, although the person is conscious. So you understand that this is a very like emotionally painful experience, because you're just like a shell, eating through a tube. You can't move. You can't even talk. You just breathe in, and a lot of people usually um, try to go, try to take the easy way out when they realize that that is going to be their fate. And anybody with this condition would be quick to give up, just throw the towel um, after such a diagnosis. But Maury, surprisingly, um, wasn't the least affected by this plight. And he instead rather held regular Tuesday classes with his former students, Mitch. So Mitch also happens to be searching for meaning with his life, and I believe a lot of people, whether we recognize it or not, we're on the same plane as Mitch. A lot of us, in our everyday career, everything we do, we're trying to find a meaning, sort of like a motivation to keep us going. And we're trying to search for meaning in this like as we're trying to go through the motions. And Maurice, however, understands this perfectly, and also having dealt like the fact that he's an old man, he has a lot of life experience, and also having dealt with um, the loss of his mother at a very young age, at the age of 8. Um, he said to Mitch at some point, he said, and I quote, "Here's the thing," he said, "people see me as a bridge. I'm not as alive as I used to be, but I'm not yet dead. I'm sort of in between." He coughed, then regained his smile. Um, "I'm on the last great journey here, and people want me to tell them what to pack." There is a lot to unpack here, and there's a lot to be said about this book. And personally, I would recommend it to everybody who's at some point um, dealt with a loss of like a lack of direction, not having a sense of direction. Someone, anyone who's dealt with depression, who's felt like, um, you know, they have, feelings of a lack of guidance, feeling of being lost, or possibly just fighting a physical or the unspoken mental illness epidemic. Um, and as aforementioned, um, it's a little less than 200 pages. So I guarantee you, the few couple hours that you are willing to invest in this book is gonna buy you hours of your life that you know, you're not even gonna get back. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and kindly leave a like and a subscribe. And I hope you to see you in the next book review or tutorial or whatever it is I do on this channel. But you're welcome to vibe with me. Thank you.